Hi, Sarah. How are ya? Hi, Marisol. I'm just waiting for some of you all to finish popping on before I get to diving into my talk. You guys at any time can go ahead and type questions, and I'll try to answer them throughout the talk or at the end of it. So please feel free to do that. I am trying to figure out how I can video this so I can send it to people outside of Facebook, but not sure I can do that. But oh well. So yeah, I'm excited to do this talk. Hi, Joe. Gotcha. Can you hear me then, Joe? He was just saying that he can see me, but he's on his desktop without video capability. So I'm thinking that means no hearing. Cool. Okay, well, I should be able to... Great, Joe. I'm glad you can hear me. Good. Cool. I'm so excited that you guys are able to get on. I am so pumped while everyone else is getting on for your guys' prize gift. I love it. Okay, I know how much I love my NutriBullet, and then the extra Bluetooth capabilities. I'm like, oh my goodness, it's so exciting. Okay, my low battery just came on, so I need to watch that, but so hopefully I don't lose you guys. Okay, I'll go ahead, since we're just a couple minutes after 5, I'm going to go ahead and dive into my talk here. And again, feel free to ask questions or to even give your own input in or whatever you want to do throughout the talk. There is going to be some things that might come across offensive to you guys, but I want you guys to really stick through the whole conversation, because I have a feeling that once I finish my whole conclusion and overlay, you guys will get more of what I'm saying and understand it more. So bear with me through it all. So this talk, like I've been telling you all, has been about how to set and reach your goals. This is a very huge, broad category, and in my opinion, it's a lot of what holds people back when they're trying to get into fitness or trying to reach their goals in fitness and health. So there's a lot of things that I want to cover. So I've kind of marked down here on my notes. The first thing that I kind of want to talk about is settling. It's like, I want to blank, but it's okay to put it on the back burner because so-and-so doesn't do it, or because others don't think it's important. So for instance, I want to be a size 3, but, the mass majority of people aren't. So, it's okay for me to be a size 8. And I'm not talking about if you're a size 8, that's a bad thing at all. Not at all. I'm specifically talking about your goals, what you yourself want. If you want something and you don't go for it because of what other people think or whatever, in my opinion, that's settling. So that's one obstacle that we need to overcome in how to, set, because if you're automatically thinking, I don't need to be, this goal or this person that I want to be, then you're going to not set realistic goals for your real desires. Or if you set the goal, but then don't ever reach the goal, it could be for settling reasons as well. So keep that in mind throughout your journey, your fitness journey, and trying to shoot that forward. Another reason could be, I am not a goal-oriented person. This is something that a lot of people think. And I actually was listening to a book, and a lot of this stuff comes from a book, and I'll post that later, so you guys, if you guys want to read the whole book, you can. But she was saying that, it comes naturally to people. Some people, they're super goal oriented, they're I want to get to this point and I'm going to be there. They're just, like boss people. And sometimes it doesn't come naturally to people, and that's all right. But those that it doesn't come naturally to, they just think automatically, I'm not a goal person, so I can't reach goals. That's not true at all. It just means that maybe it doesn't come so naturally to you. So you have the ability to set goals and reach them. I mean, you guys are amazing people, and even if it doesn't come naturally, there's lots of things that goal-oriented people struggle with that they have to push through too, that probably come naturally to you. It's just one of those things that you have to get it in your mind, that a consistent thinking through the process. Here's my goal, I need to get it, I need to reach it, here's what I need to do to reach my goals, and so on. Also, saying that you're not a goal-oriented person allows you to justify settling and not reaching your goals. And I want to dive into this more later, but that pops back up to some of the settling. I don't want you guys to settle just because you tell yourself that you don't have to be a goal-oriented person, or that it's just not your personality. You guys are more than that. You guys, I have seen so many people accomplish so many things when they just set their mind to it, and I know I have connected with pretty much each and every one of you personally, and I know you guys are capable of it. So I'm here to motivate you and encourage you and explain to you why I believe that you can. The next topic that I kind of want to touch on real quick is that you don't have time. That is one of the biggest things, and the next topic too is one of the other biggest things that I hear all the time is, I don't want to be healthy, I can't get healthy, I can't work out because I just don't have the time. Again, I don't want you guys to get offended. Listen all the way through to the end of the thing. I get it. Time is insane. Like, we all have crazy times, and I know some people are more uncapable with their time than other people, just meaning that, maybe they work and they have kids and they have, extracurricular stuff to do with their kids, and, you're going all over the place from 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. I mean, some people struggle with time in and of itself, just being capable to move their time around more than others. Some people can, work at home, or some people can finagle their time more and make it more flexible to be able to do things. However, no matter which kind of person you are, I believe that you have the ability to create time to work out, to be healthy. The only thing standing between you and your goal is willingness. This also comes from that book that I was telling you about. It takes willingness to carve out time for it. You guys, I'm going to dig into this more later, but it takes a lot of willingness to do things, to carve time. Like, time is so, I don't want to say relative, but let's be honest. We make time for what we think is important, and we, don't do the things that we don't think are important. Time, we have it all pushed forward and crammed in today's society to get everything done. This person says to do this, and this person says to do this, and I gotta do this. So it just kind of overtakes our life. But there's this little fact that people forget. There is a willingness to carve time into our days for what is important to us as a person. So keep that in mind as we continue. It doesn't matter how tired or what daily chores have to get done or what other priorities you have if something is super important to you. For instance, if you have a child and your baby is sick, it doesn't matter if there's laundry all over the floor, if there's dishes in the sink, if you have to call into work to stay home with your child. And I mean, I'm being kind of broad here. I know that you can't call in and not go to work because you want to work out. I understand that. I'm just saying, I wanted you to draw in your mind the picture that it's about the ability to carve time in your day. It's a choice. And I want to continue talking on that further, but I want you to keep that in mind, that it is not what you have to do or don't have to do. You do not have to do what society tells you you have to do. I guess that's my main point, is that there can be many obstacles in your day that you can move around to get in what is important to you. There is a big difference between what is urgent and what is important. I know that my pastor has talked to my husband about this, and my husband and I about this. So let me explain that a little bit more. The urgent is, I have to do laundry because no one in the household has clean underwear. Urgent, people kind of need clean underwear. It's pretty important. Urgent, I need to go into work because my boss said he'd fire me if I don't go into work. Urgent. That's a very urgent. It's something you need to get done. It's important, you need to get it done. Important. Let me talk about the difference between urgent and important now. I'm focusing on important. Loving your kids, spending time with your husband, or wife.
Garage door is open.
Sorry about that. Staying sane mentally. These are all things that are important. Things that, in how I draw it in my mind, is things that are do more good, I guess, than just what society tells us we need to do, and the little things throughout the day and whatnot. The things that really make a big impact. The things that are deeper and are more meaningful than clean underwear. That's the difference between urgent and important. And I want you to kind of break up your day, the things that you do, and decide, are they urgent or are they important? That sort of a thing. The next thing that I consistently hear is that there isn't enough money for it. Now, before you guys all get all squirmish and uncomfortable, stick with me. I know that money is hard. It is a tough thing, and it is a tough subject to talk about with people. I have personally found that money is relative. I remember that when my husband and I first got married, we were living in a fifth wheel trailer, and we couldn't make it. It was so stressful. We couldn't feed ourselves. Like, I was freaking out the first year we were married, it was so stressful. The next year, we were doing a lot better. We were saving up for a house, and, we were able to go out on dates and all sorts of things like that. You want to know what? We didn't hardly make a penny extra. It's all what we thought we could afford and what we could not afford. It's all relative. And that's just from my personal experience. I know everyone's not the same, so continue to hear me out on this. I call bullcrap on some people saying that there isn't money because of that scenario. I am talking about that exact scenario, that there is money, you mentally just don't think there's money. Now, I'm not saying that there is actually enough money for everyone to do everything. I know there is not. I know that there's people who literally only have a bag of carrots in their fridge and that's it. Do I think they should have money for this? No. And I'm not just talking about specific workouts. I'm not even just talking about workouts. I'm talking about health in general. What you need. Mental health. Feeding yourself. That sort of thing. This is what I'm talking about. 99.9% of the time, people have the money. They just don't have the money. Keep that in your mind. Just you decide what you think about that. I'm throwing out these things that I have found, but it doesn't mean that that's what you need to believe as well. So, just checking my notes here, making sure I didn't miss anything. So with the money, it's about priority. Every dollar that is earned should be used, and is used. I mean, even those of you who've done classes with Dave Ramsey, every dollar is put somewhere. That is how money works. You know, you get this money in, and that much money goes somewhere. Whether you are saving it, whether you are spending it, giving it, I don't care. So every dollar, every penny is going somewhere. So money is about where your priorities lay and where you want to put your money. So how do you choose to spend your money? And again, I'm not talking about you should be spending your money on working out. No way. That's not what I'm saying at all. Don't hear that. I'm just saying that money does not create chains around your wrists and around your ankles. You have control over it. You get to decide where you want to put it. If your money, every dollar is going to where you want it to be going, great. I am so proud of you. If it's not, maybe you should reevaluate. And maybe it's not going someplace that's completely outside of health and fitness. Maybe you want to be putting it more to your kids or more, someplace else. I am just getting you to think about these topics that I've heard that I feel like need to be more, mentally thought about, more, deeper thought about than just, everyone says we don't have time. Everyone says we don't have money. I want you to be intentional about your thoughts and what you're doing and what you are putting your time for and your money for. So, where the rubber meets the road, I want to dig into where are your priorities. If you haven't followed along through the first part of this, a lot of what I've been getting at is that it all has to do with what your priorities are. Within reason. Like I said, if you literally have a bag of carrots in your fridge, you can only do so much with money. If you work and you're working from 5 to 10 p.m., you can only do so much with your time. This is what I'm talking about. It's semi relative, and I'm getting you to think about you and your life, what you can do, what you want to do. So here is where we are talking about how to even set your goals, how to reach those goals. We first have to decide what your priorities are. So let's talk a little bit about your priorities with health and fitness. I feel like you can't say you want to lose that last 10 pounds or 200 pounds, or you can't make time for it until you have understood where your goals line up with your priorities and you treat it as such. What I mean by this is if you haven't actually put the effort that you want to put into it, you can't say that you can't achieve it because you haven't even tried. You haven't been there. If your priority is to, run a 5K, and you've gone and you've tried running out of your yard for a mile and haven't made it, and say, hey, I can't run a 5K, that's not a fair assumption. If you train and you train hard, hi Karina, then you can decide relatively, can I run a 5K or can't I run a 5K? That's what I'm meaning by that statement. Everyone has the ability to do everything throughout Clean Week, plus more. But are you going to achieve exactly what you want to achieve? You will achieve exactly the amount of priority you put on it. So again, I'm not saying what you want that priority to be. That is your call. That is your decision. But I do guarantee that whatever priority you put on it, that's what you're going to get out of it. So just keep that in mind as we're going through Clean Week as well. So most of us haven't prioritized our health. And what I mean by this is not, health isn't our priority. What I mean is we ourselves haven't decided where our health lines up in our own priorities. Does it go under God? Does it go under family? Does it go under watching TV? Most of us just kind of say, we'll get to the health when we get there. We haven't actually mentally decided exactly where our priority lies with that health. So I want you to think of your desires. Do you want to be stronger? Do you want to lose some weight? Do you want to join a marathon? Do you want to feel more confident? Do you want to please your family? Do you want to not be so out of breath? Just think about what you want. This is what no one else is playing a part of. This isn't about anyone else. This is about what you want. Now, hopefully you have in your mind, semi-ly, what you want, what your desire is to achieve. You are so unbelievably beautiful. I want you to hear that. Male, female, I don't care. You are so beautiful and you are so worth it. A lot of times that makes people uncomfortable. It makes me uncomfortable for people to tell me that I am worth it and that I am beautiful. God created you in His own image to take care of yourself, to value the person looking back in the mirror as something that God has created. Think about that. The person that you don't like something, I mean, we all have some things that we don't like about ourselves. That person that is looking back at you in the mirror, that blaring thing that we hate seeing, God created it. And it is so beautiful. It is. You are worth so much more than you think. I am convinced of it. He doesn't make average. You have to remember that. A lot of our thought process is, well, we just need to be okay enough in this world to not be chastised or to not be so embarrassed to walk out in public. No, you are not average. God made you to be beautiful and to your full extent. What do you think when you think of God looking at you? Do you really want to be to the full potential that He's created you to be? To mentally think that you are worth that. No size puts any stamp on that. No strength puts any stamp on that. Purely today, right this second, you are worth everything. You are extremely beautiful. And I want you to know that. It is okay for you to love yourself. I know people say this all the time, like, love yourself, it's a good thing, be self-confident. I don't mean that. I take it a step further. It is okay for you to actually love every piece of yourself and act as if you love every piece of yourself. I see a counselor. A lot of you know that I deal with some anxiety and depression and whatnot. And she was saying that we are all very, very good at blaming ourselves. For instance, it's my fault I gained this weight. So subconsciously, we deny ourselves the freedom to take care of ourselves in punishment. It's my choice that I wanted a family, so now I have to give up all my time and all my desires. It's my choice to eat what I want, when I want, because I can. Are these thoughts that you guys have had? All of these come back to blaming ourselves, to thinking that we are unworthy, to self-rejection. You guys can love yourselves. It's that simple. You could even claim that you're punishing yourself in strides to stake claim on things that you have power over. For instance, that specifically comes back to it's my choice to eat what I want, when I want, because I can. A lot of times, I know myself, eat what I want because I have control over it. It is a claim to punish ourselves because we do not have control of the rest of our lives. Think about that. Deep down, it is not okay to blame ourselves for everything that's going on in life. It's illogical. It is okay to love yourself and treat yourself as such. Put aside your generalized thoughts, those everyday voices saying, you're not enough, or this is what society thinks. Who do you want to be? I want you to visualize that life. How will it look? What will you gain from it? Did you know that by showing your child that you value yourself, that is one of the biggest impacts that you can have on them to see their self as valuable in the future? Did you know more people are willing to listen and follow you when you are more together and self-confident, whether that be, impacting others for Jesus, whether that be doing well in a business meeting, whether that be being considered for a job, whether that be even in a relationship. People are more willing to listen and see you and follow you if you care about yourself. Did you know not loving who we are consumes so much of our being? Our subconsciousness, that subconscious dissatisfaction, has a way of creeping into our whole lives and creating paths into our mind. I am very familiar with this. Every week I work on this with my counselor. Every time that I think down about myself or ill feelings of myself, I do not actually understand until I have met with her and understood the science behind it all, that it is actually making paths within my mind, deciding what is okay and what is not okay for me as a person. Because I think that I look bad in skinny jeans. Did you realize that has as big of impact on that in your life? Crazy, right? Okay. You do not need to feel shamed about taking care of yourself. Shame is a very bold word to me. There is a difference in shame and guilt. Shame is you didn't do anything to cause it. You feel bad and you feel like you have done something wrong, but you didn't do anything to deserve that, to claim that shame. Guilt is you've sinned, you need to apologize for something. It is the emotion that gets us to actually go and fix the wrongs. Guilt, shame. We're talking about shame. You do not need to feel shamed about taking care of yourself. You don't need to feel shamed for spending money on it. You don't need to feel shamed for spending time taking care of yourself. You don't need to feel shamed about being happy and comfortable in your very own skin. This is the truth, you guys. I'm not saying if you ever even want to put $1 on it or if you want to spend a minute on it. But for you to love yourself, there is no shame in doing that. Does your desire of losing weight, being stronger, whatever your goal may be, insert yours right here. Does your desire of that outweigh the trials of getting to that point? If you were to die 10 years from whenever you would have, 10 years early, if you would die at 8 and you died at 70 from, let's just say, diabetes, would you regret not shedding a few sweat droplets to live those few years longer? I can't answer that question. This is about you and your goals. This is you setting your own goals and you setting how you reach them. Does your desire of whatever your goal is outweigh the trials of getting there? The work, the sweat, the fear of what people think when you eat a salad? The list goes on and on. You ask yourself, does it outweigh it? Either way, it's a hard battle. Whether you are battling with being overweight or eating crap and feeling crappy, or whether you're battling to work out every day and to eat healthy. They are both hard. Both sides are hard. Which one do you want to put your effort into? What do you decide? Once you've decided, don't let anything change your mind on that. That is your decision. It is your life. You get to be the person you want to be. It is okay to love yourself. It is okay to do what you need to do to feel good. If you feel good at doing this thing that everyone says you shouldn't do, who cares? That is my overlay for you guys to decide how to set your goals and how to reach them. It is all about what you want, what that fantasy person is that you someday just hope to be. It's about that person and what you are willing to get there. What is that vision on your priority list? When you have decided that, adjust your life accordingly. That is the key to setting goals and getting there. I hope this helped you guys. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. I should be around my phone most of the evening, so feel free to do that. But this is number one of many little topics that hopefully we'll be able to talk about the rest of the week. We are super excited for Clean Week to be taking off, and we can't wait to see what you guys accomplish and your goals and everything else. So I will see you guys soon, and we'll be in touch.